Yes, you guys, welcome back. I'm the EFC, this is Blue Lines TV, and today I'm here to bring you guys another New Zealand video. Now, of course, I haven't been here for a while. Recently, the content hasn't been as consistent, and unfortunately, it might persist like this for a tiny bit longer. Apologies for that, you guys. I think one day I'll speak about what's been happening, but right now, I'm not really ready to do that. But for today's video, we're here to speak about the big stories for today, and I'm going to be speaking about the new shirt kits already for next season, so of course you guys need to get involved with that discussion. I'm going to be speaking about Bakayoko and Napoli. I'm going to speak about Marcos Alonso and Crystal Palace interest. I'll speak about Ben Chilwell and his back injury too. There's a ton of things to break down and discuss. I hope you enjoy. If you like today's video, smash that like button. Help me get over 2,000 likes for today's video, and without wasting any more time, we start with the first story for today, and I want to speak about these new concept colors for our kits for next season. Now for this story, this was released by Footy Headliners, and I think by now, when it comes to any training gears, kits for next season, colorways, etc, these guys are plugged up. These guys have the connects, they have the sources, and what's really interesting about the leaked concept colorways for next season is that one happens to be an electric yellow and blue, and the other one is yellow and black. Now, over the past few months, when it came to the potential rumors for our third kit for this season, I told you guys that I was hearing that there could be a black and yellow kit for this season. That did not happen to be the case, but afterwards I was hearing potentially that this could be the colorway for next season, and by what Footy Headliners are leaking and releasing, then yes, I think that this is quite concrete, and with everything I've heard previously too, it does suggest that we are going to have a black and yellow kit, so that is quite exciting. When it comes to this electric yellow and blue though, I'm hoping that the overall kit design is going to bang, of course. But at the same time, when it comes to our shirts and our kits, they are kind of like Drake albums. Now, what do I mean by that? When you first hear a Drake album the first time, you already have that build up and those expectations in your head already. So when you hear it the first time, for me, it doesn't really live up to the expectations that you create in your heads. But afterwards, when you hear the album again, and when you just accept it for what it is, that's when you see the genius behind it. And for me, this was literally the same thing with our kits for this season. The kit that I love the most actually is the pink kit. I never thought I'd say that, but after having it, after wearing it so much, after seeing the colors too, after seeing the players wearing it as well, the kit absolutely bangs. So for me, I am going to be optimistic, and I'm going to wait to see what these final leak designs could look like. But you guys in the comments below, give me your thoughts and opinions. Are you even feeling that pink kit this season? Or am I talking absolute bollocks, mate? You guys let me know in the comment section below, and of course, how do you feel about the color scheme for next season too? Now, we move on to the second story for today, speak about Ben Chilwell. Now, we do know that recently England lost 2-0 against Belgium. For me personally, I keep seeing England using a back five system. We got options in midfields. I don't know why we keep prioritizing defense every single time, but that happens to be some, their opinions for another video in the distant future, you guys. But for right now, the reality is Ben Chilwell, he only played half an hour against Belgium because he was taken off, obviously precautionary manners, for his back flare-up. Now, honestly, it's nerve-wracking. It's nerve-wracking. We cannot afford to lose Ben Chilwell at all because he is by far an upgrade over what we have. It really is that simple. And I'm really thinking this January, should we potentially go back into the market to sign another left back to act as competition? The fact that Ben's getting taken off, and right now the club, they don't know what's happening. They're waiting to see if Ben's injury is going to be okay, if it's more serious. We'll get the final answers and results pretty soon, you guys. But the reality is that once the team gets back, we are going to have such an intensive period of football where we have games literally every few days for the next few months. It's already stupid enough that most clubs in this country decided against having 5 substitutions used in a game. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I'm hoping that rule gets changed very quickly, because what's going to happen during a period like this is that there are going to be even more injuries. And my thing is, if I have Alonso and Emerson, 2 left backs, 2 left backs in particular, who, they knew that when Ben was coming, there was an opportunity here to stake your place in the team and become the second competitive option at left back. What did both Alonso and Emerson do during the start of the season? Absolute nada. They did nothing, and for me, one of the most criminal ones was even Emerson with that disastrous cameo that he had coming on the field. For me, when you don't even have that ability to just find a new gear or to step up to a different level after a competition like this, then it tells me that, okay, all the chances and patience I've had, it can't be done anymore. Right now, I think it's time to sell both these players, and ideally, if it's possible, I would like us to sign a backup competitive option at left back. I think when it comes to someone like an Ian Maatsen, he's going to need some more time. Yeah, he's doing very well at Charlton so far, but he needs at least 1 or 2 seasons before even coming back to this team, in my personal opinion. Guys, in the comment section below, how do we play this one? Do we just keep what we have? I mean, yes, Azpilicueta as a backup option. You know, let's not forget that during the end of last season, this guy was getting assists like crazy. So, you know, he still has that ability in him. But again, you guys in the comments below, do we go for a new left back or do we stick with what we have? Now, we move on to the third story for today, and I'm going to be speaking about Marcos Alonso because it does seem like there is some interest coming from Crystal Palace, who are hoping to sign him this January. Now, this could be some interesting news and some great news. I think the reality is with Marcos Alonso at this point in time is that even just irrespective of his ability as a football player, I just think with the tactics we're using right now, they don't necessarily complement Marcos Alonso to his fullest. And I think whenever you're in a situation like this, then you have to sell players and you have to move them on. Now with Crystal Palace, the fact that they are showing interest in Marcos Alonso is quite interesting. For them right now, Van Aanholt is in his final year of his deal and he's had non-stop interest from both PSV and Ajax, and for me, I've always seen Van Aanholt as that replacement for Tagliafico once he finally leaves Ajax. So, of course, this guy has levels to step up in his career to move on to, and it does seem like when that does happen, Crystal Palace are hoping to sign Marcos Alonso. Now, they can't sign him on loan because they already have Michy Batshuayi, and we know that there's quotas when it comes to how many loan signings you can make per season. So the reality is, if they want Alonso, they would have to buy him outright. Now, for me, this is quite exciting because if you're Crystal Palace, if you want to sign Marcos Alonso, it means that you have to offer more money, more wages, etc, etc. You have to be very tantalizing to really interest a player like Marcos Alonso, who can still play international football and still plays at a very decent level. Now, credit to Crystal Palace. I personally think that they are a team on the rise. They've signed some great young players. They're playing football the right way, and you're seeing that improvement in their team. So Alonso could suit them. And of course, he gets to stay in London as well. I think the reality is that in this January, we have to continue selling off players. I mean, that's the most important thing to do. It's about fine-tuning that squad even more. It's about balancing it even better. And I do think that right now, we've got like, what, 3 left backs. We have how many midfield players? I think some young players need some loan moves as well, my personal opinion. And I just think that over the next few seasons, I think we are going to just spend money on, you know, replacing squad players in the team. You know, eventually guys like your Aspies, your Alonsos, etc, etc, they are going to have to move on, and we do need quality competitive replacements for those players. So I think that we start by selling off Marcos Alonso. Let's hope we get a healthy amount of money for him, and let's actually hope that we sell one of these guys in the next down window. So guys, on that note, we now end with the final story for today, and that's in regards to Bakayoko. And it does seem like potentially even better news to come this January because Napoli are very interested in making this move a permanent. So let me break down the backstory for you guys right now. Just hold on a second, you guys, sit back, relax. But with Bakayoko currently, he is playing in a 4-2-3-1 at Napoli, playing in midfield alongside Ruiz. Now, I'm looking at that Napoli team, and I have to say, that balance though, that balance in the team. I mean, Ruiz and Bakayoko, 2 midfield players who are like 6 foot plus. Ruiz just being the playmaker. Bakayoko doing what he does best, breaking up the play, protecting the defense, and of course, just passing that ball to a more creative player alongside him. I mean, you're seeing guys like Osimhen up front. You're seeing that defense already have. You're seeing the wide talent, and Martin's in behind as well. It's no surprise that right now they are currently 3rd in the table. And due to this, due to the great run of form, it does seem like Gattuso is destined to sign a new 2-year extension to his current deal. And what this basically means is that if Gattuso's future is secured long term, then it gives us a massive probability that Bakayoko should make a permanent signing to Napoli. I think this works out perfectly for every single party. Napoli have a great midfield player for their team. Gattuso is working alongside a player that he already respects and already knows, and on top of that, they're earning how much money off that sale as well. That money is going to be very important if we do end up making a big money move for Declan Rice in the next window. If we can sell off Alonso and Bakayoko, that's potentially at least 40 to 50 million in the bank that we can then use to sign a Declan Rice to boost our chances of getting something positive this season and making things work. So I'm fully here for it. I think with Bakayoko, who is a good player, my stance has always been that I feel like he made the step up to us way too soon. I think that he should have either remained at Monaco for a bit longer or made the stepping stone to a club like, I don't know, like a Spurs or a Napoli, which he's currently at right now. Just get that confidence and improve his game even more, because once you sign for a big club, there's literally no sympathy for you. You have to perform, because otherwise the fans, the manager, the board, the press, everyone goes against you and everyone turns on you just like that. I know what some of you guys might be thinking, Nini, if Bakayoko just does bits this season for Napoli, playing for a good team in Napoli, then surely he deserves a chance to win his place for next season. I understand that, but I just think that at this point in time, the club has a different profile of player they are monitoring and want to sign. I just think that there's no point keeping Bakayoko and not signing better players than him. That's the honest reality. I think with Baka, his limiting thing's always been his use of the ball. I think though, playing in this current Napoli team, these current setup and tactics is getting the best out of him, hopefully meaning that we get the maximum amount of money to sell him off. So you guys, on that note, I'm going to wrap things up, keep things moving. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe. I'm Nini FC. This is Blue Lions TV. I'll catch you guys later with some more videos.